England forward Marcus Rashford considered leaving Manchester United before the 2022-23 season, but said he decided to remain at Old Trafford after being allowed to play with more freedom under new manager Erik ten Hag. Rashford won United's Player of the Year and Players' Player of the Year awards following a stellar campaign in which he scored 30 goals across all competitions as the club finished third in the Premier League and won the League Cup. The 25-year-old, a product of United's youth system, signed a 5-year contract with the club earlier this month. Asked if he had thought about moving away from United before the previous season, Rashford told British media, "Before the manager came, maybe a little bit, but it's football, it happens. Everything is going to happen for a reason, and he came to the club at the right time for me, the timing worked out," he added, before explaining what had changed under ten Hag. "Freedom, we were just a little bit rigid in the past. Sometimes you're not enjoying your football, and that was the case with me. I wasn't enjoying my football as much as I should be, as much I was used to enjoying it." It's doubtful West Ham will make another bid for Manchester United defender Harry Maguire due to his price tag and wage demands. Man United have rejected a £20 million bid from the Hammers for Maguire, 30, who is deemed surplus to requirements at Old Trafford. The Red Devils are holding out for £50 million for the England international after giving Leicester £80 million for his services 4 years ago. Maguire was expected to leave Old Trafford after ten Hag gave the armband to Bruno Fernandes, with the Euros just 11 months away. Maguire will be 31 when the tournament in Germany starts, and it could be his last chance to win an international honor. Yet a move to the London Stadium is now looking unlikely. As reported by The Athletic, West Ham will struggle to pay Man United's asking price and match Maguire's salary. Man United have rejected 2 bids from West Ham for Maguire, the first being a loan offer. The Hammers are yet to make a major signing this summer. The club have made several offers for players, Moyes recently told Sky Sports. "We are out in the market. We are quite active. Hopefully, some of them will come off in the future." Manchester United have been closely linked with trying to lure Kylian Mbappe to Old Trafford, but transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has exclusively told Gimsport if a move for the Paris Saint-Germain star is on the cards. Reds boss Erik ten Hag is aiming to add several new faces to his squad ahead of the start of the Premier League campaign next month, en route to PSG's preseason tour last week. Reports suggest that Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Inter Milan and Barcelona are also on the hunt for the striker's signature, after he has scored 239 goals at the start of his club-level career, while the current owners are at his time expect a player more money. Proposal is made. Romano knows that Manchester United are regularly among those pursuing Mbappe, when there are question marks over his long-term future. But the Italian journalist understands that the Red Devils are not vying for the 24-year-old signature even though PSG are actively looking to sell him. Romano told Gimsport, "Manchester United is still part of the rumors regarding Mbappe's situation. But from what I've been told, Manchester United are not working there at the moment. The situation there is very peaceful." Manchester United have signed Rasmus Hojlund from Atlanta in a deal rising to £72 million. United have agreed an initial fee of £64 million for the Denmark striker, with a potential further £8 million payable if performance-related add-ons are met. The deal ends United's summer-long search for a striker, with Hojlund having agreed a 5-year deal, with the option of an extra year. Hojlund becomes United's third signing of the summer, after midfielder Mason Mount and goalkeeper Andre Onana, taking the club's total spending this summer to £179 million. The 20-year-old is expected at United's Carrington training complex within the next 48 hours to undergo a medical and finalize the deal, before he starts training with his new teammates. Hojlund could make his United debut at Old Trafford in a friendly against French side Lens next Saturday and will be available for the start of the new season. Just as boss Erik ten Hag wanted, Atlanta initially wanted £86 million for Hojlund, but United were able to drive the price down to a level at which they were comfortable, as they also did with the Mount and Onana deals. United insist all three arrivals were Ten Hag's first choice in all three positions, and do not anticipate any more arrivals this summer, with a focus on shifting fringe players to raise funds. Andy Burnham has claimed that no one feels completely comfortable about the prospect of Manchester United being owned by a Qatari businessman, with the city's mayor suggesting that there are wider questions to be asked around how the Premier League is funded. In a wide-ranging interview with the News Agents podcast, Burnham said he was aware of his electorate's views on the Glazer family's ownership of United, but admitted to reservations around the potential of a takeover from a figure closely linked to the Gulf state. United have been up for sale since November of last year, when the Glazers said in a 300-word statement that they would be exploring strategic alternatives that could include a possible sale. Since then, two parties, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos and a group fronted by the little-known Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim, have been in the running to take over, but they are awaiting a response from the US-based bank in charge of the process, Rain Group, around whether one will be afforded preferred bidder status. These are questions that everyone's having to embrace in this Premier League era, Burnham told the news agents. I don't think anyone feels completely comfortable about it, and I'm going to be really clear about that. But the Premier League has kind of moved into a place where, is all the money clean in any Premier League club? There's associations with regimes around the world. That's how it is now, isn't it? Obviously, we don't have an outcome yet with regards to the ownership of Manchester United. I think there's a lot of people in this city would tell you there's a lot wrong with the current ownership regime there, in terms of the money that's been taken out of Manchester United over the last decade or so. Burnham believes questions over this country's relationship with Qatar and its human rights record should be directed at the UK government. Yet, despite his apparent doubts over whether Qatari ownership at United would be a good thing, the mayor of Greater Manchester believes football can represent a window to push for change. The city's other club, Manchester City, has been owned by Abu Dhabi for more than a decade. And despite questions around that Emirates' own human rights record, they are widely credited for investing in East Manchester on top of bringing an unprecedented era of success. I think there's a differentiation, isn't there? Burnham said of the human rights question, you can't solve those issues from here, can you? Those are issues for the UK government talking to the Qataris. Those human rights issues have to be raised at that level, and they were, through the World Cup.